It's my 19th day on the job, and I gotta tell you, it just feels like I never left. This place just feels like home to me. I don't know where I'd be in life without Lindsey Wilson College. Lindsey took a scared, shy, frankly lost teenager and created an adult who had confidence, someone with a passion for learning, someone with passion for serving. For me, all roads really do lead home, and that home is Lindsey Wilson College. I look forward to getting to know each and every one of you here today, and I am so excited for what's to come. With that said, I would like to invite Alex Shrine to the podium. She is our president of the National Alumni Association.
My name is Alex Shrine, and as Allison said, I am president of the Lindsey Wilson College National Alumni Association. I want to thank you all for being here today, and we have some very important business to attend to, but first I want to take an opportunity to share a snippet of my story with you. It was an unseasonably warm December day when I first visited Lindsey Wilson College. I remember it vividly. The way the light was shining, the way my dad got lost in the town square. I remember every detail down to the sweater that I wore and what they were serving in the caf. Roast beef, and of course mashed potatoes. I didn't know it yet, but my life changed that day. I felt a sense of belonging that I didn't know I could feel. I knew where I was going to be spending the next several years of my life. It was a similar unseasonably warm day in December when I graduated. My family made it to campus, several members for the first time. I wore one of my late grandmother's dresses and Italian leather shoes that I bought during my summer studying abroad. I donned almost more cords than my neck could handle, showing off my affinities for campus organizations and my many accomplishments. But my tassel was stuck in my eyelashes and all of my dentures. I joke that I've lived many lives since graduation. I've made many moves, both geographically and in my career. I married my college sweetheart, and we welcomed our first son earlier this year. The specifics may differ, but we're all here in this room today because Lindsey Wilson College has touched each of our lives. Some are friends of the college, some are alums, some are staff, some might be all of the above. But no matter what category you fall into, I want to sincerely thank you for joining us today as we celebrate a few individuals that truly exemplify what makes this college great. And with that, on behalf of the National Alumni Association, I want to say welcome home, Blue Raiders. Welcome home.
Thank you, Alex. I look forward to working with you alongside the Alumni Council in this new role. I've been involved in the council for the last 7 years, and I know it's a passionate and dedicated group of individuals. But next, I want to welcome Katie Saylor, class of 2026, to come forward to provide the invocation for today's luncheon. Katie is a sophomore from Louisville, Kentucky, who will graduate with a degree in Human Services and Counseling.
Will you pray with me? Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for everyone in this room, and I am so glad that all of the former Blue Raiders are here today on this rainy day. I ask that you bless the hands that have prepared this food and that we can enjoy and celebrate our past as Blue Raiders. In God's name we pray. Amen.
Babana, Nice starts. That's a lot of fun. Singers Alumni. Over this weekend, we've had over 110 alums visit with us last night, this morning, and they're having a gathering over in Hodge, but it didn't start till 12. So I thought, well, guys, come on, let's go and do this. So we're kind of, shocking awe for you all here today. Why we sing. Has anyone seen the Simon Sinek TED Talk where he uses the 3 words in the circle, what, how, why? Have you seen that? He says so many times we get into the what and the how, the outer circles, but not the why. Not the why. And the best leaders, the best organizations, the best ensembles know why they sing.
wildly uncomfortable. Do not like, oddly enough, public speaking does not bother me. The attention and spotlight being on me does bother me. I actually do public speaking often for my job, but not when it is about me. Thank you so much. It is an honor to be recognized with the Outstanding Young Alumna Award. I want to express my deepest gratitude to everyone who puts in the work to make this event possible. When I first stepped foot on Lindsey Wilson College's campus in 2007 as a prospective student, I simply could have never imagined just how transformative this place would be for me. The lessons I learned here, both in the classroom and beyond, have helped shape who I am as a professional, as a leader, most importantly, as a person. Lindsey Wilson College is not just a school. It is the place where my roots were planted, and from those roots, everything else in my life has grown. It's often said that our work is a reflection of the lessons we've learned. And for me, everything I do now is rooted in the experiences I had during my time at LWC. The classroom challenged me to become a critical thinker, engaging with complex ideas that really shaped my understanding of the world. My time as a Bonner Scholar instilled in me the importance of compassion and service. My experiences in being a student ambassador, peer mentor, being in organizations like Student Government Association, helped me develop essential leadership skills that have served me well throughout my career. Transitioning from being a student at Lindsey Wilson to working in the admissions office at Lindsey Wilson was a pivotal moment that reinforced my belief in the power of education. I had the opportunity to guide prospective students through their unique journeys while witnessing just how life-changing this institution can be. I carry that same passion for empowering young girls in pursuit of their education now in my role as the Director of Admissions and Marketing at Mercy Academy, just as Lindsey Wilson College empowered me during my formative years. I am truly thankful for the guidance professionally and educationally of people like Amy Thompson-Wells, Dr. Tracy Pooler, Charity Ferguson, and Susan Mitten, who invested in me while I was a student and an employee and helped me grow throughout the entire time I was here at Lindsey Wilson College. I'm equally grateful for the friendships I formed as a student. If you know me, you know these are my people, and they are still my closest friends to this day. I would also like to thank my family, to my parents. Thank you for teaching me the value of education. You have always made me believe that I can do anything I set my mind to. To my sister Molly, who is also a proud Lindsey Wilson graduate, I just feel really lucky that we get to share this Lindsey Wilson legacy together. I want to give a special thank you to my husband Matthew, who, while not a Lindsey Wilson graduate, has been my unwavering partner in creating the Carnell Family Endowed Scholarship in honor of my family. Establishing this scholarship just felt like a natural extension of our shared commitment to this community. For over 15 years, I have cherished being a part of the Lindsey Wilson family, and I genuinely believe in the transformative power of this institution. With this scholarship, it is our hope that we will continue to provide future generations of Blue Raiders the opportunity to plant their roots and flourish, just as I have. I'm deeply honored to receive this award, and I look forward to continuing to contribute to this amazing community. Thank you.
You know, clearly I watched the same video you did, and I looked across the room, and I know some of you were surprised. It was in your face, but no one is more surprised at this day and at this event than I am, I can assure you. Let me begin by thanking the Alumni Council for not only considering my nomination, but for accepting it. And let me also extend a word of heartfelt gratitude to whomever you are out there that nominated me to begin with. I don't have a clue how I got here. I don't know the process and I don't know the procedure. But I know that just like everything else that has ever come my way, or any wonderful endeavor that I have ever been associated with, it came about because someone at Lindsey Wilson College helped to make it happen. I arrived at this campus exactly 20 years ago. And that means that I have been undergirded and supported and encouraged and propelled forward by the indelible impact of this place and of these people. You know, the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 12, tells us that there's none good, none not good. So I'm not before you today to say just how good I am. If there's any good in me at all, God did that. But if along the way that there's any good that comes about in the world by my having been here, Lindsay Wilson College did that. And so it has been for the others of us who are privileged to call ourselves Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. That's just what happens when you sign up to be a Blue Raider. It's a way of life, and it lasts a lifetime. Each of you have set the bar high for what the world expects and demands of a Lindsay Wilson Blue Raider. It happens when you sign up, whether a student, whether a faculty member, or a staff member, you're identified as one of us. And when you're an alum, you can never escape it. For 121 years, this place has been sending forth alumni from this place out into a lost and broken and dying world to be salt and light. And you know that's a pretty high standard. That's just what we do. And today, by God's grace, there are over 12,000 of us in the world who just by activities of daily living, as if to say, just by living our normal lives, we're breaking the chain of ignorance, we're raising the standard of living, and we're eradicating the curse of poverty. I can think of nothing more powerful than that. And yet that's what we do as Lindsay Wilson Blue Raiders. Whether you're a recent graduate or a member of our Golden Alumni Association, we all share in this unique and intangible bond of being a Blue Raider. Whatever era you were a student, whatever generation you're from, we all spend our time here in a crucible of service learning and academic excellence, experiential education, foundational transformation, and surrounded by unconditional love. It's no wonder that the world expects so much of a Blue Raider. And you know we're growing. Our alumni base is growing by leaps and bounds because our student population is growing. As Scripture says of the early church in the book of Acts, the Lord was adding to their numbers daily. And so it is at our beloved alma mater. The Lord is adding to our numbers daily. I've said it before and I'm going to repeat it again, that students are coming to us today in ways that we never thought possible. Yes, they're coming from rural Appalachia and they're living on campus. But they're coming to us online now. They're coming to us through satellite campuses, through master's and doctorate programs. Some are coming to us and they have an undergraduate degree from another institution. Can you imagine the nerve of that? But you know what? They're ours. They leave here, they're an alum. They carry the banner just like we do. Whether a student seeks us through online courses, or whether they seek us through night classes or some non-traditional fashion, we believe that they should not be bereft of the life-changing mission of Lindsay Wilson College. Because we believe that our mission is not limited to 210 Lindsay Wilson Street. Our method of delivery is not limited by office space or classroom walls. The mission of Lindsay Wilson College is to serve the educational needs of students. That includes every student every day. And thanks be to God, it also includes every way. And in case you haven't noticed, the world is figuring out, the word is out, just how wonderful this place is. Are you aware that our alma mater, our beloved Lindsay Wilson College, this academic year is recognized as a college of distinction? Nationally, we are recognized as a college of distinction because we have been deemed excellent in 6 specific categories: affordability, career development, equity and inclusion, and excellence in 3 of our academic programs: business, education, and nursing. You know, with news like that, it makes coming home feel pretty good, doesn't it? To be associated with excellence. And yet, that's what we do. I was encouraged that I should share a few stories, and just due to lack of time, I'm going to tell a few very quickly. Just to sort of expose to you the alumni that, you know, we do more than study here. We do more than academic rigor. Occasionally, we have fun here, too. Some of my favorite stories came from Dean Shelton, Asa Shelton, who was dean here from 1941 to 1943. He taught math and physics. When he was dean in 1943, a group of boys from the boys' dormitory had gone out one night just north of Columbia here in Nifley, and had put a rope around a cow's neck and brought the cow back to the dormitory and led it up to their 2nd bedroom dormitory. The next morning, Dean Shelton was teaching physics, and all the windows were up, and that cow stuck its head out the window and let out a real loud moo. And so that interrupted classes for them. But I also remember the comfort that was brought when Dr. Shuffett, who taught chemistry here for so long, at the beginning of every semester, he would take his chalk, and on the chalkboard, yes, we had chalkboards in those days, and he would write his phone number. Then he would put his farm phone number over in Greene County. And then his mother, who was an octogenarian at that time, he would put his mother's phone number. And he would tell us that if we were ever out running around, getting in trouble, or had a flat tire, to call one of these numbers, and if he was out on the farm, call his mother, and she would be able to get to him, and he would come and rescue us. And he meant it. I remember Tip Shanklin, who must have experienced all 9 levels of Dante's Inferno, trying to help me be a creative writer. Coming from Bandana, you might be shocked to know I write just like I talk. And it was not as creative as Dr. Shanklin thought it should be, and it really mirrored what we were studying in those levels of Inferno for him to grade my paper, and I thought they were beautiful. I remember being in Dr. Clausen's classes, and I remember knowing that she expected and demanded academic excellence, but that she also led by leading a life of being a lifelong learner. And to this day, I know that when you're synthesizing RNA, that RNA reads DNA in the 3' to 5' direction. See, you come to Lindsey Wilson College and you can talk about RNA polymerase. And you can wear store-bought clothes. And you can't tell me nothing. But I also remember that each and every year that we had a celebration here where we recognized and paid homage to the United Methodist Church. And that we were, in fact, affiliated with the United Methodist Church, which made us a church-related institution. And how Dr. Swan would so ably remind us that whether truth was found in a biologist's microscope or an astronomer's telescope, that it was all God's truth. And that here we serve the God of truth, but that the love of Jesus does not have a contingency statement, and that we believe there's always room for one more. That feels pretty good, doesn't it? Just to reminisce about how great this place is. In closing, I am reminded of a quote from one of our esteemed governors of the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Happy Chandler. Happy Chandler once said that he never met a Kentuckian who wasn't thinking about going home or was actually going home. And how appropriate it is that our theme this year for homecoming is All Roads Lead Home, which sort of reminds me to tell you this. You know, as alums, we all get the question, whether it's in our career or in our daily life, so where are you from, right? And the obvious answer is the towns, the cities, the municipalities where we've chosen to live and plant roots and raise our families. That's the obvious answer. But I submit to you, my dear alumni, it's not really the truth. When someone asks you the question, where are you from? The answer is, and always will be, I'm from Lindsey Wilson College. Thank you.
As you've heard today, everyone has a Lindsey story that has walked across this ground. Whether we've worked here, studied here, or came to visit a friend, everyone develops a Lindsay Wilson story. So here's mine. I was 19 years old and worked in the X-ray department at Jewish Hospital, saving money for my dream. I wanted to go to college. And I didn't know about scholarships and loans and things at that time. I was really green. And one day, a gentleman in a wheelchair outside my office was shaking, and I walked out and spent 45 seconds with him. 45 seconds. That afternoon when I got off from work, I was asked to go up to room 424. I went up there, and there this gentleman, long white hair, over 6 feet, like President Lucky, was lying in bed, his wife sitting next to him, and 2 men in black suits standing there. And he said, I've been asking the nurses up here about the blonde in the X-ray department. And they knew me. And they said, you know, she sings for all the doctors' parties. They know she's saving for college. And so when they have a party, they hire her to sing a few songs. And that way they can give her some money. So he said, you ever heard of Lindsay Wilson College? And I said, no. This gentleman was Mr. Walter T. Stevens and Mrs. Walter T. Stevens from Russell Springs, Kentucky, far, far away from Charlotte, Kentucky. And he said, we'd like for you to go down and see Lindsay Wilson College. So my mother and I borrowed my daddy's car, and the next Saturday we ventured to Columbia, Kentucky. And as my mother was getting out of the car, I walked up. There were parking spaces in the front of the administration building at that time. And I walked up to the sign that's there in stone, and I rubbed my hand across Lindsay Wilson College, and I turned and said to my mom, oh my, oh my. And that was the beginning of a new life for Linda Underwood. I don't want to get too emotional on this, do I? So the second day I was here as a student at Lindsay Wilson College, I was coming out of our white dormitory, going to dinner that evening, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I picked up my step and I rushed to the dining hall, and I went across the room to where there were 4 tables where the faculty ate. At that time, the faculty all lived really close, and they ate all their meals at Lindsay Wilson College. So the tables were full, and I walked up to the tables and I said, someone has shot a hole in the water tower. And everyone just kind of looked at each other, no facial, and I'm all upset. There's a hole in the water tower. And Mr. Kermit Fleener stood up and said, let's go check it out. So, Mr. Fleener, I'm sorry, not Fleener. Let me look, Mr. Kermit Grider. Now I've got heads turning. Mr. Kermit Grider took me, and we're standing there looking at the water tower, and he explained to me all about a gauge that was on the water tower, an overflow gauge. No one had shot a hole in the water tower. He didn't make fun of me at all, but my education began that day at Lindsay Wilson College. While here, I witnessed service from the president of the college to the gentleman with the flashlight that walked all over the campus all night long, watching over us. Service and love and care is what I observed, but the words were never used. After all, it's the Lindsay Wilson way. Of course, this comes from Lindsay Wilson being a Christian college. But you know, Christianity was not forced on us. It was not flaunted. It was lived in every way. It was gifted to us in an unusual way. In the many years that I have been gone, I have a gold blouse on. I am a gold recipient. A long, long time ago, the strong urge of me to have service to this place called Lindsey Wilson College that changed my life in so many ways, and still does every day. I have shared the story with so many people, but the ones I take pride is when I'm in line to get a hamburger and there are two students in front of me or behind me and I say, "What year of school are you in?" "I'm a junior in high school." "You going to college?" "Well, am I not?" You need to go online and look up Lindsey Wilson College. It'll change your life. There are some students here that I've stood in line with. Not many, some I don't know that are here. But I'll never quit urging people to look us up. As we have walked across the stage, so many of us, over 12,000 through the years, when we reach for that diploma, we take a pledge of service to Lindsey Wilson College and Christian love and service to this everyone that we meet on this earth. It's the Lindsey Wilson way. I leave you with these words from 1 Peter. Invest your time and talents where they will make an eternal difference. Faithfully serve all others. After all, it's the Lindsey Wilson way. Thank you.
Thank you to all of our alumni award winners. Let's give them all another hand. The impact you have made on this college will leave an inspiration for, I'm sure, years to come. To conclude our awards program, I would like to ask our SGA President, Zach Lawson, class of 2026, a Christian Ministries and English major, to come forward and give our benediction. After the benediction, you are dismissed.
Would you bow your heads and pray with me? Dear God, I thank you for every single person in this room, whether it be a student or an alumni, a faculty member or a staff member of this institution. God, I thank you for the blessing that they have been on my life and just the 3 years that I've been associated with Lindsey. God, for the amazing alumni that I've been able to meet over the past few years. God, I thank you for the impact that they have made and that they will continue to make on generations to come. God, I pray that the words spoken today will meditate on our hearts, God, that we will leave here just changed, God, that you will that this has inspired us, God, that we will take it out into the rest of campus. God, I pray for the students that are in this room. God, I pray that you will lead them and direct them, God, for every step that they take, that you will bless them, God, because we know that you have a plan for us. God, we just thank you for this amazing lunch, God, the dining center staff, just everyone that's been a part of this day, planning it from very early on to coming in and helping at the last minute. God, I thank you for those who weren't able to make it. God, I pray that you will be with them. God, when you have to travel this weather, God, I pray that you will just bless the hand of protection over them. God, as we leave here, may your love go with